Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to learn about business partner functionality in SAP S4HANA. We are going to do the comparison between ECC and S4HANA regarding customer master data and vendor master data. Right, so let's start. So when it comes to SAP S4HANA, we call it BP or business partner, whereas in ECC we call it customer and vendor master data. Right, so in ECC we have multiple segments in the customer data and in the vendor master data. Okay, segment is like you can see, like we have general data segment, we have company code data segment, and then we have sales organization data segment in case of customer master data. Okay, when it comes to vendor master data, we have same thing: general data, company code data, and then purchase organization data. So this thing, first two, which is general data and company code data, is considered as FI data, and the remaining is considered as sales org data and purchase organization data. Right, so other thing, in ECC we have multiple transaction codes to create, change and display customer master data or the vendor master data. So if you see, for the customer, we have FD01. If you want to create data only for general data and company code data, which means finance customer, if you want to create finance related data only in the customer mastery code, then we use transaction code FT01, and then FT02 is for change, FT03 is for display. When you want to include SD related data, okay, in the customer master, then we use transaction code XD01, and XD02 is for change and 3 is for display. All right, so we can say that we have, in total we have how many, like 6 transaction codes to create the customer master data. In ECC we have 6 transaction codes related to the customer master data. FD, there are 3 transaction code, and XT there are 3 transaction codes, right? Similarly for vendor also, if you want to create only like FI data, then it is FK01, and for change and display FK02, FK03. And if you want to include purchase organization data, then it is XK01, 2, 3 is for display and change. Alright, but when it comes to SAP S4HANA, we have only single transaction code, which is called the BP. The transaction code itself is BP. In this same transaction code, in the single transaction code, we can perform all these activities, which means you can create, you can change, you can display, or you can create like company code related data, sale org related data, and purchase org related data also within the same transaction code we can do in SAP S4HANA. So in SAP S4HANA, these all transaction codes are obsolete. You cannot use these transaction codes. Even if you try to use this transaction code, system will redirect to the BP transaction screen only, right? So now in BP, instead of having the data segment, what is the segment? Like we have general data segment, company code data segment, sale org data segment, purchase org data segment. So instead of having these kind of segments through different transaction codes, in SAP S4HANA we have BP roles, right? So these segments has been converted into BP roles. So for example, company code related data FD0123, this data is mapped to the segment FLCU00. This is the BP role. And for SD related data in the customer master, we have another role FLCU01. Similarly, for vendor also, for company code related data and general data, we have FLVN00, and for purchase org data we have FLVN01. So this is the overall concept. when it comes to the BP master, because it's a bit confusing. People who have worked in ECC, and when they see in SAP S4HANA, it is totally changed. But if you understand logically, nothing has changed. Only the different segments has been converted into roles. That is the only difference. Now, what happens when you create the business master data BP in SAP S4HANA? Two things happens. System will create the BP master, as well as system will create vendor or customer master data in the background. Very similar to ECC only. Like in ECC, where we can see vendor data, we can see LFB1, LFA1, and LFB1 for the master data. So once you create the BP master, you can find all the vendor data here in these same tables. These tables are still there. So system will create the BP number, as well as system will create the vendor number also. Vendor number we can see in this table, and in case of customer it is KNA1 and KNB1. Right, this is the tables we used to check in ECC. Same thing we can check in S4HANA also. But you cannot create customer and vendor master data directly using these transaction codes. That is the only difference. You have to go through BP master data. Once you create the BP master data, then system will assign some BP number, right? And in the background, system will also create the vendor number. So now let us understand this concept from the configuration point of view. So part of the configuration would be exactly similar to ECC, and another part of configuration which is unique for business partner configuration in SAP S4HANA. So in ECC and S4HANA, these steps are similar, which is like we used to create a vendor master group. The same thing we are going to do here in S4HANA also. This is the first step. The second is we are going to create the number range for master data. And then we are going to link this number range to the group, to the vendor master group. So we are going to discuss in this video about vendor master data, but once you understand the vendor master data functionality, and then it is the similar for the customer also. You can replicate same thing for customers. So what we do, we have to create the group. Let's say we have created this group, and then when we create the number range, the only important thing here is that this number range has to be external number range. It cannot be internal number range. Okay, once we do the configuration, you will understand the importance of this. Because when we create the business partner, we tell the system, that my BP number and customer or vendor number has to be the same. Okay, so this is kind of BDC runs in the background. When you create the BP master, the BDC will be running in the background. That will be creating the vendor master, for which system has to assign number manually. Which is that number? That your BP number. So to assign any number manually, the number has to be external, right? So that's why we are keeping number range as external. External means manual, not automatic. Internal means automatic, and external means manual. And then this range which we give here, from and to range, this same range we need to give for PP number range also. These steps I will list down here. Right, so first of all, let's start doing the configuration for these three steps, and then we will proceed for the S4 HANA specific configurations, which is BP master related configs. Go to SPRO, financial accounting, and then go to accounts receivable and payable. Here we are going to configure vendor account group. So suppliers accounts, master data preparation, and this is the step 1. Define account group with the screen layout. So let's continue this. So let's create one account group. Let's say this I had created earlier. Let's say 2. This is the account group we have created, and save it. So this is our first step we have done, creating the group, vendor account group. Now second step we are going to do is to create the number range. Go back one step or two step, then create the number range. So this is the next step. Go to change interval. So here you need to create one number range, okay, which has to be external number range, since in this system our students has utilized all the available intervals. So I'm going to pick one existing one, which is I think PN. Okay, so number range PN. So I'll show you what is the setting that number range. So you can see here, this is external number range. This is very, very important checkbox. You have to select this checkbox, external number range. And now this is the number range we have given. The same number range interval we need to give when we create the number range for BP master. In another config step, we will see that. So you can see the same number range I have here, 300502 30099. All right, so this step is also, let's say we have created already. Now the third one is assign the number range to vendor account group. So here we are going to assign the number range. This is our new group, and the number range we are going to assign is PN. Save it. Right, it's very simple 3 steps we have done here. Now to create the vendor master, to create the BP master config steps, let's go back. There are another way to do the config for BP, which is bit complicated steps. Basically, I mean to say navigation is complicated. So what I'm going to show is very simple config and very easy to remember this navigation. So just go to REFX module and then go to business partner. Here we are going to use these two nodes only, this first node and this second node. So first we will use the second node is general setting for business partner. Then again expand the business partner, basic settings. And this is the one, number range and grouping. So in this we are going to define the number range. Basically this is the first step, number range. And then second one is define the grouping and assign the number range. So let's define first number range. So go to interval. Here also the number range intervals are almost utilized, so I'm going to use the existing one, but to that should be more than enough to explain the concept. So we are going to use the same number range, which is PN. Right, so this code can be different, anything, but this is important. The from number and to number has to be exact same, should be matching with your vendor account group number range. So you can see here we have the same number range, right? 30050 30099, 30050 30099, right? So let's say we have created this number range. Now what is the next step is to assign two things we are going to do in this step is to define the grouping code and then assign the number range which we have created in this step. So let's execute this. Here I'm going to create, let's say, a new grouping. So let's say it is DS01 code. And let's say this is the description. This is optional, anything you can give here. Now we need to assign the number range which we had created in just before this step, which was pn, right? Pn number range. So this is the simple setting we need to do here. So we have created one grouping which we will use when we are creating BP master. You will see the grouping field over there. So I have created grouping DS01. This is the grouping we have created. Now let's see what is the next step. Okay, so this step we have completed. Now go to this step, relevant setting for business partner. Expand this, and for customer it is separate node here, and for vendor this is separate node. So we are doing the config for vendor. So go here, and this is the one. Assign number assignment, assign account group to the vendor account group basically. So what we do in this step, we are going to establish a link between the grouping code we have defined and the vendor account group. These two things we are going to link in this step, right? So let's see this now. So go to new entries, and what is our grouping code? DS01. You can see in there for also. DS01, right? This is the one, DS01. And what was our account group code? Right. Now we need to select this checkbox, same number. Okay. So, yeah, so you need to select this checkbox and then just save it. That's all. This is the only configuration we need to do. Only 6 steps, 3 steps as ECC, and 3 new steps. Now let's go and create the BP master. So first thing I'll show you whether we can use the old transition code, let's say FK01. So then what happens, once you execute this transition code, system is going to redirect to BP transition code. You can see this is the BP transition code. So that means to say those transition codes which we were using in ECC are obsolete. Basically now we cannot use those transition codes. So we are going to use same transition code BP. There is only single transition code BP to create, change, display, and extend to any kind of data segment like company code, purchase order data, okay, sell order data, like this. So the single transition code is BP. So go to BP and then you can select person or organization, it's fine. Now this is the important here. We are not going to give a business partner number manually because in the number range, it was the internal number range for business partner. This number range. When we create a number range here, this was internal number range. You can see that. So we are not going to give this number range. But what we have to give is the grouping code. Grouping code we have created DS01, right? DS01. This grouping code, what this will do is two things it's going to do is it is going to determine the number range for your BP master data, and this is also going to link this is also going to link the vendor account group, so that once as soon as you save this BP master data, system is going to create the vendor master also in the background, which you can check in LFA1 LFP1 table. All right, now other thing, what kind of data you want to create? Do you want to create company code specific data, or you want to create sale org and purchase org data? So for this we have these roles. So we are talking about vendor. So we need to select this role if you want to create the company code related data. FLVN00, right? So these are the roles. There are so many other roles. You can create yourself also if you want. You can customize, but we can use the standard one also. FLVN. So FLVN is the company code data standard. This is the standard role. We select this, click on create, and then give the name D001. Let's say this is the vendor name, and this wherever the required information we are going to provide the information. So you can see there are so many other tabs. You can explore it, but I'm just giving wherever the required information is there. So given this, now you can see this is basically called the general data segment. Some of the tabs are from the general data segment. Some are from the company code segment, and remaining company code data, if we click on the company code, this push button here, so there we need to provide data which is only related to particular company code. So here we need to specify the company code. So this is our company code. And then we need to provide a reconciliation GL account as we used to do in ECC also, right? So we will give the reconciliation GL account. Now one thing you notice here, supplier number. Okay. Now BP number is also blank and supplier number is also blank, but it is said here that external. Mean to say as soon as the BP master is saved, system is going to assign number automatically here. External means it's not like user has to do it manually, right? System has to assign it manually, same as the BP number, right? We selected the checkbox same number, right? For that purpose. Okay, so once we save this data, system is going to create the BP number and it is also going to create the supply number, which would be same as your BP number. So let's save this data. Right now you can see BP partner, this is created 30052. Same thing for supplier 30052. Now let's say you want to extend this data to the purchase organizations, right? So for this same transaction code only, just go to change mode. And now we need to select the other role FLVN01, which is purchasing organization data. You select this and then select this push button purchasing. Here you need to specify your purchase organization. So this is my purchase organization. Apart from this, any other information which is required or like partner function, so many other things which people can better relate and they can fill it up, right? So now we can save this data. So this is our BP master data which we have created. We created in the company code segment and we have also extended to the purchase org segment this data. Now since this is created, you can check in standard table this number slash NSC16N. The table is LFA1, which is we call it general data in ECC, right? So this is basically general data only. So you can see this vendor master has been created. And if you want to see company code related data, then provide your company code also T001 and execute it. Right, so you can see this is the reconciliation GL. We have given all other information you can find it here. So this is how you can create the BP master in SAP S4HANA, and this is the minimum configuration required for you to create the BP master. I hope you like the content. If so, please do like, share and subscribe. We will meet in another video soon. Till then, bye. Thank you.